now. Welcome, grade 1 preparatory. We're still talking in lesson 3 about pure substance, mixture, and compound. The pure substance here, as you see, the pure substance, it is a substance whose components cannot be separated by physical methods. Pure substance. The substance whose components cannot be separated by physical methods. Yes, and the pure substance may be element and may be compound. Water is an element or a compound? Water is what?
Compound. Because
Is it a pure substance? Yeah.
What?
Is it pure substance?
No.
Water is a compound,
No.
and it is also a pure
No.
substance. Just wait. The pure substance may be element and also may be compound. Okay?
But it can't be separated by the physical methods.
We can separate it by chemical method, not physical. We can separate it by chemical, not physical. Okay? But by physical methods, we cannot separate components of the water. Okay? We will see now together how to separate hydrogen from oxygen. Look here, we can separate hydrogen from oxygen, and this is a chemical way. We can separate hydrogen and oxygen from water. So water can be separated, atoms or elements of water can be separated. Hydrogen separated from oxygen by something called electrolysis. We will study it after a while. Okay? Just a second. We have element and compound. Water is a compound, but oxygen is a
element.
And mercury is a element. And the element is the simplest pure form of matter. The element is the simplest pure form of matter that cannot be dissociated into simpler form either by physical or chemical methods. Not by physical and not by chemical, because it is an element of the same atoms, the same element. We cannot separate atoms of an element from each other. So we have two examples here of elements. One is a gas and one is a liquid. Oxygen is a
gas.
A gas element, and it is a gas. It consists of how many atoms?
2.
Yeah, 2 atoms. So we say it is diatomic. We say it is diatomic. What is the meaning of diatomic?
Atomic, it's dead.
Diatomic means it consists of 2 atoms. Okay?
Okay.
Diatomic means it consists of 2 atoms. We have here mercury, Hg. Hg, this is mercury. It consists of 1 atom only. 1 atom only of mercury. Like this, 1 atom only. This molecule is called monoatomic. Monoatomic. Because it consists of a...
Because it consists of
1 atom only. 1 atom only, okay?
Yes.
You know ozone gas? Ozone gas. You know ozone, did you hear about ozone?
No.
Ozone gas in the air, in the atmosphere, protects the earth from harmful radiation, from harmful rays come from the sun. You know ozone layer?
That it's outer layer on the earth.
The ozone hole is very dangerous. Yes, the ozone gas is O3. Its symbol is O3. So how many atoms in ozone?
3.
Yeah, there are 3 atoms. Look, like this, for example. Like this, and like this. There are 3 atoms of ozone, of oxygen. 3 oxygen atoms. We say ozone gas is either monoatomic or diatomic or triatomic.
Triatomic.
Yeah, very good. It is called triatomic because it consists of 3 atoms. But all of them are elements. Oxygen is an element, which is diatomic. Mercury is an element, which is monoatomic. Ozone is an element, which is triatomic, because all atoms are the same. All atoms here are the same. Oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Hey, atom is the same. Oxygen. Here, two atoms is the same. Oxygen, oxygen. So we have the same atoms, so it is an element. If we have the same atoms, it is an element. We have here a monoatomic molecule. What is the name of this molecule, Adam?
Carbon molecule.
Yeah, monoatomic or diatomic?
One
How many
atomic.
atoms? Oh, it's one atom only. It is monoatomic. Okay. I have now O2. What's meant by O2? O2 is what? For what?
Two atomic. It's
Diatomic.
diatomic.
Diatomic. Very good. It is diatomic molecule. It is diatomic. Diatomic. Okay? Diatomic molecule. And we have ozone. It is a triatomic, and you can say polyatomic. You can say triatomic or polyatomic. Okay?
Okay.
Means of poly, it has many atoms. Poly here has a meaning of many atoms. So if I ask you a question, the similarity and the difference between oxygen and ozone, what is the similarity and what is the difference between oxygen and ozone?
The symbol of them, it's O.
Oh, they have only oxygen atoms. Oxygen atoms. They made of oxygen atoms. But the difference, what is the difference? Oxygen has how many atoms? And ozone has how many atoms? Yeah.
Ozone 3 and oxygen 2.
Okay. Okay. This one is diatomic. Oxygen is diatomic. And ozone is polyatomic. So they have some similarities and they have some differences. Type. Now we are going to talk about the compound. A compound like water, like carbon dioxide, like mercury oxide. Okay? Water. Look here, water is H2O. You know water is what?
H2O.
Oh. H2O. And mercury oxide, HgO. Mercury oxide is HgO. And you know also carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide, you know what is it? It is CO2. Carbon dioxide, it is CO2. The chemical formula of carbon dioxide, CO2. All of these are compounds. All of these are compounds, and they are all pure substance. They are also a pure substance. They are formed of a They are formed of combination of two or more elements in fixed mass ratio.
Yes.
What is the meaning of fixed mass ratio? We have here mercury and oxygen. What is the ratio between mercury and oxygen? One mercury. What is the ratio between mercury and oxygen?
1 and
1 to 1. No. HgO. 1 Hg and 1 O. The ratio is a 1 to 1. Okay? Carbon dioxide, what is the ratio between carbon and oxygen?
1 and 2.
1 to 2. Okay. And the hydrogen, water, what is the ratio?
The water, 2.
2 to 1. What is the ratio?
Yes, 2 to 1.
2 to 1. So here we have a fixed ratio. A fixed ratio between the number of atoms. Yani you cannot say carbon dioxide CO3. You cannot say that. You cannot say carbon dioxide CO5. It is always CO2. Okay? There is a fixed ratio. There is a fixed ratio between the number of atoms. So Water is H2O. You cannot say HO2. You cannot say H3O. You cannot say HO3. It is always H2O. There is a fixed ratio. There is a fixed mass ratio. And the compound, again, what's meant by compound? It's a pure substance.
Pure substance formed by chemical
Combination
or
of two or more elements in a fixed mass ratio. You know now the meaning of fixed ratio? There is a certain number of atoms from the two elements. There is a certain number of the two elements. For example, nitric acid. For example, another example, nitric acid. Nitric acid, Adham, is a HNO3. H1.
Okay.
Yes, HNO3, 1. What is the ratio now? What is the ratio?
1 to
1 to 1 to 3. Okay? Hydrogen, 1. Nitrogen, 1. Oxygen, 3. So this is a nitric acid. It is a fixed ratio. You cannot change any number of these. You cannot change the number of hydrogen atoms. You cannot change the number of nitrogen atoms. You cannot change the number of oxygen atoms because you are talking about nitric acid. It must be HNO3. For example, when I am talking the excellent student in the class, we are talking about Adham Sami. You cannot talk about any other student. So you are talking about an excellent student, Adham Sami. You cannot change the name. You cannot say Adham Abdul Hamid. It is Adham Sami, the best one in the class. Okay?
Okay.
This is the name of a compound, some compounds. And we can separate them, but in chemical methods, not in physical methods. We can separate them by chemical methods, not physical methods. For example, here, HGO. What is HGO? Mercury?
Yeah, mercury.
It's mercury oxide. Mercury oxide, HGO. Can we separate HG from O? Yes. If we have here a test tube and you put here mercury oxide, which has a red color, it has a red color. You can heat it on the flame until the oxygen is separated. The oxygen go up. The oxygen is separated. Oxygen go up and the mercury remain. So O2 go up or evaporate, you can say, and the mercury remain in a silver color in the test tube. So if you have a test tube, like this, and you put inside the test tube, you put something like mercury oxide, and the mercury oxide has a red color. The mercury oxide has a red color, like this. And if you heat it on a flame, you heat it strongly, mercury still in the bottom here in a silver color.
Yes.
Mercury remain in the bottom here in the silver color. But oxygen go up, evaporate, as you see, oxygen go up.
Yeah.
O2 go up. But mercury still in the bottom here. Mercury, Hg, still in the test tube.
Yeah.
So you separate mercury from oxygen. You can separate mercury from oxygen. Okay? This is a chemical way which is called heating. We can separate more mercury from oxygen by heating. Okay? And the red color of mercury oxide change into silver. Why the red color change into silver? Because mercury oxide changes into mercury. We separate oxygen from mercury oxide. Okay? Why the color changes?
Because it heated into mercury.
We separate oxygen from mercury. So after heating, oxygen is separated from mercury, and oxygen go away, and the remain will be the mercury, and the mercury has a silver color. Okay, this is a way of separating called heating. There is another way of separating which is called electrolysis. Electrolysis. The meaning of electrolysis using electricity. The meaning of electrolysis using what?
Electricity.
Electricity. Look here, what is this? Can you see this one? What is this? This is what? A battery. Can you see the battery?
Yes.
And we have a device here like letter H. Can you see this device like letter H? It has three tubes. This like letter H, okay? But it has three tubes. And we put in this apparatus, we put some water and we add some sulfuric acid. We put some water with acidified with sulfuric acid. Yani we put water here and we add a little amount of sulfuric acid. We put here water. We put here what? Water. And we add some drops of sulfuric acid. But the two tubes here, this one and this one are closed. As you see here, there is a tab. They are closed. But the one in the middle is not closed. It is open, so we can put the water and the sulfuric acid. Okay? Now, what will we do? Will we connect the two tubes with the electric source or a battery? The positive is called anode and the negative is called cathode. The positive one is called anode and the negative one is called a cathode. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Just wait a second. Just wait a second. Here, what we are doing? We let the electricity to move through the water. We let the electricity to move through the water. When the electricity moves through the water, it starts separating hydrogen separated from a oxygen. Very good. It was H2O. It was H2O. But after electrolysis, okay, after electrolysis, it becomes H2 alone.
Yes, that O.
Plus O alone. O2 alone. It is now separated. We separate hydrogen from oxygen. Where is the hydrogen? The hydrogen here nearer to the cathode. Look at the hydrogen nearer to the cathode. The hydrogen is here in this tube. And the oxygen is nearer to the anode. Nearer to this tube. Okay? We separate oxygen from hydrogen by a way called electrolysis. And all of this device, this apparatus is made by a scientist called Hofmann. Hofmann voltmeter. And this is called Hofmann voltmeter. It is called what? Hofmann voltmeter. This device is called what? Hofmann voltmeter. The device which is used in separating hydrogen from oxygen from water. The device which is used in water electrolysis. What is the name of this device? Your answer will be what?
Hofmann
voltmeter. How can we work it? How can you work it if you have one like this? How can you work it? What you add and what you connect?
I add
water?
Hydrogen.
No. I add water.
Water.
And drops of sulfuric acid.
Yeah, okay. Water
and I connect what?
And I connect electric source.
Battery or electric source. The two poles, the anode is positive and the cathode is a negative. Then I leave the electricity to flow through the water. After 20 or 30 minutes, we can see bubbles of hydrogen and bubbles of oxygen. The oxygen separated from hydrogen. The oxygen separated from a hydrogen.
From
Okay.
heart.
This is
Okay.
the way called electrolysis. This way is called electrolysis.
Yeah.
طيب, molecule of a compound. There is many different compounds, like we say before, nitric acid, carbon dioxide, water, all of these compounds. And we can also say there is two types of compounds. One of them is called organic compounds, and one of them is called the inorganic compound. So we have here two types of compound. What are they?
Organic compound and inorganic compound.
Okay, what is the difference? The organic compounds are called the carbon compounds. This means they must have carbon atoms bonded mainly to hydrogen atoms and maybe bonded to oxygen atoms or nitrogen atoms. But the main atom هي الكربون. So why organic compounds are called carbon compounds?
Because
They have a carbon atom. They must have carbon atom.
Yes, because they have carbon atom.
They must have carbon with what? With ممكن, with oxygen, maybe with hydrogen, maybe with nitrogen, and maybe with hydrogen and oxygen, and maybe with hydrogen and nitrogen, and so on. But carbon is basically carbon. It consists of basically a carbon. Like what? Like methane. Methane molecule, which I tell you before, methane is CH4. Methane CH4. Okay. Is it organic or inorganic?
It's organic.
Organic. Why? It has what? A basic element what?
Carbon atom.
Very good. طيب. Also, other organic, a lot of organic compounds, not only methane, but still here. Stop here. We'll talk a little bit about the inorganic compounds. Or inorganic compound may contain carbon, but not always. يعني sometimes don't contain carbon. Compound contain various elements.
Not every time they will have a carbon.
They may contain carbon, but it is not a basically a base. It may contain carbon and doesn't contain carbon. So the inorganic, some of them have carbon and some of them don't have carbon. For example, we have nitric acid. What is the formula of nitric acid? I tell you before.
It's a molecule contain hydrogen.
Yeah. Do you remember the nitric acid?
That's
hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. HNO3.
O3.
You remember?
Yes.
HNO3. And we have here carbon. Do we have carbon?
No. Yeah. No
carbon. Yeah, no carbon. Okay. And we have also another one, CO2. What is CO2? Carbon.
It's carbon dioxide.
Dioxide. Does it contain carbon?
No.
Yes. Yes, it has carbon. But
yeah.
It is inorganic, Yada. It is inorganic. Yes. Although it has carbon, but it is inorganic. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So organic must contain carbon. Inorganic maybe contain carbon, and maybe doesn't contain carbon. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's see here how many atoms. How many atoms? Look here. How many atoms here? 3 red. What are the red? What are the red color? And atom. One blue and one gray. Do you remember the formula of nitric acid?
Yes. It's nitrogen and oxygen and the carbon.
The nitrogen and oxygen and the hydrogen.
Hydrogen, carbon, not hydrogen.
The red one is what?
The red one, it's oxygen.
And the gray one?
Hydrogen.
And the blue one?
Nitrogen.
Okay, here we have carbon dioxide, which is what?
It's CO2.
The red one, the red atoms,
Oxygen.
and the gray atoms,
Carbon.
Very good. And we have here methane gas, as you see here, methane. Oh, look here, 4 and 1. 4 carbon, 4 hydrogen and 1 carbon.
And 1
It
carbon.
is CH4. CH4. It is 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen. Okay?
Okay.
طيب. As you see, Adam, he tell me about some organic compounds contain large number, maybe thousands of atoms. Maybe thousands of atoms. Not only 3 or 4 or 5. Maybe thousands.
Yeah, okay.
Like plastic polymer, hemoglobin in the blood, and vitamin D, which regulate calcium and phosphorus levels in the blood to prevent osteoporosis. To prevent osteoporosis. You know the meaning of osteoporosis?
Mister.
Yes.
ينفع دقيقة بس أعمل حاجة واجي؟
ناقص دقيقة ونص عشان الزوم يقفل، خلي بالك. يلا. دقيقة والزوم هيقفل. اوكي، يبقى هنا بيقول لي ايه؟ بيقول لي some organic compounds have thousands of atoms. They are polymers. Like the plastic polymer, they have thousands of carbon, hydrogen, and so on. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But they are thousands. And the hemoglobin in the blood also have thousands of atoms, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and so on. Thousands. And vitamin D also, which regulate the calcium and phosphorus levels in the blood to prevent osteoporosis. What is the meaning of osteoporosis?
Yes, okay.
مرض العظام الضعيفة اللي هو هشاشة العظام.
Yes. بيقولوا علشان البيبسي.
يا عشان البيبسي، برافو عليك. The weak bones. The weak bones disease. Okay?
Yes.
Don't drink a lot of Pepsi. It is not good.
Wow.
Okay, you have here a question. We have here a question. Which of the following compound molecule consists of 4 atoms in different elements? D, 4 atoms of different elements. Yes, your answer is correct. Very good, Yad. And finally, we have to stop now, Adam, because the session will finish. And your homework, continue solving the exercise on lesson 2. You continue solving this exercise, okay? Continue solving. You have to complete this exercise, Adam. It's very important. Okay?
Yes, I know.
Okay, it's very important. Continue